Welcome back to Rubbin Minds, and of course, moving in second segment, we have a social commentator in the house to talk about some of the major topics that made the headlines last week. Bola Dale Adekoya, how you doing?
It's a pleasure to be here.
Looking very sharp, bro.
Oh, thank you very much.
Are you going somewhere after?
No.
It's allowed, it's allowed. All right, let's hit the ball on a lot of things to touch on. Xenophobic attack continues in South Africa. South Africans are of the opinion that, look, a lot of Nigerians and people from other countries, foreigners basically, are prostitution and drugs. And they're upset that it's infiltrating their communities. Their children are being exposed to this, that it's not so much about the issue of jobs being taken, but the negative influence that foreigners have. That's one side of the argument. The other side of the argument, from Nigerians in particular, is that they're just being attacked. But we know there are no Nigerian saints in South Africa. How do we balance this issue?
Now, I think first and foremost, I think it's important to correct the impression that there's a xenophobic attack in South Africa. Okay. I think the better expression is to say there's an Afrophobic attack rather in South Africa, because if you look at it, it's not about for a society when you claim some individuals are bringing in drugs, getting into prostitutions and the rest. It is a normal issue around the world.
But some might disagree with you in the sense that if for example, in your neighborhood, wherever you live, and somebody or a foreigner keeps selling drugs next door to your home, I mean, it would be very strange of you not to want to take action. But the question is, are the South Africans going about this the right way?
No, that is the issue. You see, if for every individual, if I don't like you, I always find an excuse.
True.
I always find an excuse. If you feel there's some individuals that are dealing in these drugs positions, I think the best thing is to call the authorities and have them arrested. Okay. You have that. I think this is. But for you to now go to the extent of looting their shops, attacking them, and even attempting to kill some of them, it shows that it's beyond the so-called prostitution. These are just allegations to save face. To me, I believe that it's a recurring decimal in South Africa. Okay. A lot of South Africans don't like Nigerians, Zimbabweans, and some majority of the African brothers. I read a report by someone also in South Africa who was saying South Africans were telling Africans to go back to Africa.
South Africans are telling Africans to go back to Africa.
Now, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe historical because of the historical mixture with the whites. They maybe feel some kind of illusion that they are no longer Africans. But let's see. These are issues that we need to tape out for South Africa to engage in such frivolities. I think other countries, especially Nigeria, with the role we play in Africa, it is really important for us to call them to action.
Even talking about roles, the House of Representative Committee on Diaspora had criticized the federal government for failing to stem the attacks on Nigerians living abroad. The chairperson of the committee, Rita Orji, stated this on Monday while speaking to journalists. She said, and I quote, that the failure of the federal government to address previous attacks of Nigerians in South Africa was responsible for the incessant killings. So there's also
I agree. I agree with that statement because you see, when you leave issues like this to face for a very long time, and you don't attend to it, you encourage these individuals, hoodlums like them, to keep engaging. And the leaders in South Africa, the so-called political leaders, and also the leaders, community leaders, and kings also, they've not been helping because they keep inciting these people against Nigerians, against fellow Africans. And I think to a large extent, it's time Nigeria really moves in. See, we play. I do tell people, a lot of people might not want to hear it, but it is important. The United States is known around the world to play a leadership role. In Africa, Nigeria plays a leadership role. And if such issues are not addressed, you find out that in the next couple of years or the next couple of months, you find other countries also escalating, other countries engaging in such. So it's important for Nigeria to move in. You don't kill an American or you don't attack an American in another country and expect them to keep quiet. You should send a strong warning to them. At the position of strength, Nigeria wants you to stop, and they will stop.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see how that particular story unfolds. Dollar drops by 50 naira. There was more or less an injection of dollars, $370.9 million to be exact. That was put in by CBN to the 23 banks to ease the visible and invisible request of customers. And the dollar has dropped by as much as 15 naira. This trend, some are saying, is just a flash in the pan. It's not really going to solve the overall problem. Some are happy about the development. Some also predict that the dollar will still rise to as much as even 700 naira and above. Where do you think the direction is?
Well, it depends. There are two factors. I'm not an economist, so I'm not going to say this from the economic part of view. What I'm going to say is this: I'm looking at it from the political point of view. Some individuals have been benefiting from the disparities in naira and naira. Some people get, because of the assets they have, they get dollars as a cheaper rate from the CBN, and they end up selling. These are allegations, not proven. Now, another issue is this: for every sane economy, you don't have, for every sane country rather, you don't have local bureau de change and markets exchanging. You can go abroad and go to any market and exchange your naira for dollars. See, these are they are laid down policies, laid down rules for this, and the fact that we are even having such in Nigeria is despicable. So to me, I feel that the new CBN policy is really interesting. It's really good. They're telling banks, I'm going to give you dollars, no problem. But make your dollar accessible to those that need it. One, for schools and institutions. Set up also in airports, in strategic locations, so that people also can make exchange from you. So not going to local bureau de change, who at the end of the day want to profit excess from what they have already.
But
so
this seems to be a reversal of the initial conditions and policies put in place. This is a complete reversal. Now they've dissolved it. It's not longer a monopoly, so to speak. Yeah. I mean, for people who wanted to travel out, they had to bring things like a tax clearance and some other very stringent conditions. Some of them would create false ones, and they couldn't verify and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So right now, I mean, a lot of people are attributing this to the fact that the acting president has been very instrumental in making this come at this time, or is it a coincidence? A lot of comments are online. Well,
I wouldn't want to give the acting president credit for this, but what I'm going to say is this: when the absent president was still in Abuja, we saw how the economy drifted. Now that we have an acting president, we've seen how he's going through. So it is left for Nigeria to compare and contrast, which is better. But I believe that they said it's body language. So if the body language of the acting president is making the CBN do the right thing, oh, kudos to him.
And
we only hope it continues, or we only hope it doesn't stop when the president comes back.
Well, still in the spirit of body language, acting president Professor Shimbajo paid an unscheduled visit to the NCAA to basically take a look at what's been happening. I mean, toilet inspection was carried out, and shortly after that, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority lost about 10 of its directors.